first week and a half?
Good, really good. You know, we knew it was going to be pre-season at the Division 2 level. You're never going to have enough time. You always want more time as a coach, but we knew it was going to be quite hectic. We knew the players were going to have to come in some sort of fitness. When we tested them, the scores were amazing for the most part. We were really happy with most of the players. As you're always going to have one or two as well that maybe don't make the grade at early doors. So then it's about kind of bringing the new players in and integrating them with returners, which again has been really good. We want to make sure that the way that we want to play the game and some of the concepts that we're trying to use as coaches, we've got to get that message across. And I think it's gone really well so far. We were really encouraged by the game we played the other day, and just excited to get another one in. Yeah, all the time. I mean, you know, especially when you're bringing in international players who, and we've not got a massive amount of international players, but we do have international players, and for the first time in this school's history, we probably don't have them all from the same country. So we do have a player from England, we have one from Sweden, we have a couple from Brazil, we have, you know, players one from Italy, etc., Switzerland and so on. But they all have different ways to play, but we've got to try to get them on a common ground, and while not trying to make them robots, and while not trying to make them do things that aren't what they do, we've got to try to find a common ground between how we feel like the team wants to play or needs to play versus what the individual characteristics of that person are. And you know, if you can find a common ground between the two, you usually can have some success. That's where we're fortunate, because we try to say to the players, it's not a bad thing practicing and training in this weather, because it's like warm weather training. You know, there's benefits to that, the same as there is benefits. We've got a girl from Utah this year, and she obviously trains at altitude when she's at home, so fitness levels for her are through the roof. You know, for example, you know, she can go at high intensity per hour GPS for longer. So with everything, you've just got to put a positive spin on it. That's just the way it is. You know, I think we played the game in the area that we wanted to play it. You know, per our statistics program, we had 65% of the ball in the opponent's half. I think we dominated possession. We had about 65% of the game was in the opponent's half. 60% of the ball was with us. We created a number of opportunities. We got to play a lot of people. A lot of our players got to play. So really happy in that regard. Like I said, created a lot of chances from more zones than what we did last year, more balanced in our approach rather than just down one side or just through the middle. I think we're a lot more of a threat from many other areas now. Set pieces were better, or we are better. We're much more of a threat this year from set pieces as well. So if you're talking about what can we get better, or what are my concerns with trying to get better, time. You know, we just need more time on the practice field. It's going to take time to defend. When you defend in a medium to low block, it takes time to develop the concentration. It takes time to develop the nuances that are needed when players need to move as the ball moves. Offensively, if you're trying to develop a counter-attack, you know, the initial keeping the first pass, but also playing it forward to create an opportunity and create a problem for the opponent is key as well. Just little things like that come over time and with practices. So, you know, the game is so complex. You know, there's 1,000 changes of speed in a game. There's turnovers, this, that, and the other. You know, over 1,000 actions per team. You know, you can't just practice those in 10 days. So it takes time, and naturally, just like everyone else in the country, we're finding that out and trying to work through all of the kinks. We've added Melinda Pantaleo as one of our captains. She has incredible experience. She's a bit older. She's coming in here as a junior. So I think that's immediately something that we're adding to the back line. You know, she has incredible presence, and her soccer ability is just off the charts. So immediately there's one there. We've got Thenia Zervas, who's come in as well, who again has great experience, has played in World Cup qualifiers for the Greek national team. So there's two there as well. But when you talk about returners, you know, the returners have gone from being the new kids who have come in and no one knows about to being the team now that has a target on their back. So mentality is obviously big, you know. That's something that we've talked about. through pre-season with them. You know, we had a leadership series where various members of the coaching staff and players presented to the team about mentality, and we tried to get everyone together on a common ground. So it's been exciting, it's been fun, we're developing, and I think we're just raring to go. Preparation, you know, preparing for 2 games in 3 days. I think it's important to understand that if and when you do go to national tournaments, you are playing 2 games in 3 days, or as we found out last year, 2 games in 2 days. You know, so it's important for the players to prepare, and we talked yesterday about prehab versus rehab. If there's any injury concerns or any stiffness, soreness and stuff like that. Nutrition, hydration, especially while the temperatures are so high in August, September. There's a lot of things, you know, you got to get on the bus and be uncomfortable at times, and be away from home, and, you know, people are going to miss class. So one of our core values is being organised. So, you know, they've got to be organised with their classes and submit assignments and stay on task as much as they can. So a lot of things to come out of next weekend, but we're excited. The 2 region games that are obviously important against 2 good teams. Let's go. Yeah, I think you asked me about pressure, and you asked me about the program developing and how we're trying to do it, you know, and we're really big on the 1%. I mentioned that in the podcast, having a better locker room. I mean, our locker room had never been done since 1990, and we've completely renovated this. You talked about the dugouts and the facility. There's a lot of things happening there as well. We've obviously reshaped our strength and conditioning programs around our style of play, rather than just doing weightlifting and soccer and then hoping that the 2 come together. It's like a revolving cycle now. So the players are working smarter. They are working hard. I don't believe that you should just work smarter rather than harder. I think you can do both. So yeah, it's all come together pretty nicely. We're just building a program and hoping that we can sustain success.